Here's an interesting fact. The hardware that runs AI, chips, GPUs, data centers, they have a lifespan of 3 to 5 years. And then it's scrap. They last less than a pair of running shoes. So the bottleneck is not so much on the software side of AI. How clever is the AI? But on the hardware. How fast can we update the hardware? How fast can we cool it? How much energy and water will we need for that? This is why I believe the most important conversations in AI for the next 5 years are not going to take place in Silicon Valley, where the software and the chips are done, but in the regulatory office, where the utilities are discussed, and in places like in Siemens Energy, at the level of substations, cooling towers, where the infrastructure and where the big hardware is done. Let me show you why. Every time you send an AI a prompt, you're triggering a physical event. Electricity gets pulled off the grid, chips heat up, water is literally evaporated to cool them back down. Call it the plumbing of AI. Nobody thinks about plumbing until it fails, but everything else runs on it. Inside the modern data center, roughly 1/3 of all of the energy consumed doesn't go to intelligence. It goes to cooling. 1/3, just to stop the chips from melting. And that's before AI agents arrive, which is yet another whole conversation. This is why I'm in Zagreb this week at the kickoff of a 3-month OpenExo sprint with Siemens Energy and an incredible group of almost 100 experts. This week I've been the dumbest person in the room. If we get this right, AI can remain abundant and equitable. If we get it wrong, it becomes the scarce and unequal force of the next century. For those of you using $200 AI subscription, we've been quietly consuming 10, sometimes 20 times that in compute. Someone else was paying for that difference, and that's about to change. Follow along for the rest of the series. 10 more weeks to go.